Welcome to Pen and Gadget, and this is the Jinhao X159. Oh, where do I begin with this pen? Everybody likes to compare this pen to the famous, infamous Montblanc 149, and obviously having that 159 in there, I think they're alluding to something. Not only that, but clearly it is very similar in styling and in shape. I feel like this is one of those pens that everybody likes to review because it's so cheap. That how cheap is it? It's so cheap. I could buy a box of these. Okay, a box of them, like 20 of them, for like, you know, an actual affordable Montblanc pen. So yeah, 20 of these guys. They're about $10. So. Yeah, you can find these on Amazon, AliExpress, eBay. You can get them even cheaper if you want to hunt and wait a while to get them shipped to the US. But yeah, let's uncap, twist to uncap. There is that nib. Let's get up and close here. There is that fine Jinhao nib, two-tone. Where do I begin? So. About this nib, it's a large nib. It's a number 8 size nib. It's a big boy, but it feels great in the hand. So, okay, let me back up. A lot of people buy this pen. Okay, it's so cheap, right? Because they want to test drive having the 149 Montblanc. Now, well, not this pen, but I'm saying Montblanc, and I'm showing the emblem. Because it's so similar in shape and feel that this pen is kind of the gateway to the more expensive pens. But basically, if you want to test drive the Montblanc, you buy one of these cheapos, okay? And, it's like, it's a training wheels to get you into the deep water, basically. The writing experience is completely different now. I will say that. This pen writes slow, if you will. Let's get in here. I don't normally do any kind of drawing stuff here, but there's a feel now. I've been wanding this thing around for a while, so let's get it started. Otherwise, it's been drying out. So I'll just get it going here, and this is just one of those things you got to deal with. Okay, when you're writing with this pen, it's smooth. There's a smoothness to the feel that there's a lot of it. I don't know how to describe it. It's not feedback, but it is. It's slow to write with. Like, you have to deliberately make your lines. I don't think that you can be fast, right? I think this is a slower pen to work with. Oh yeah, it's still waking up. Sorry about this, but yeah, and it has a little bit of flex to it. Like, you can see, I can get some thick lines or some some line variation. It's a different experience. You're not going to get a high-end experience, and even like my Mahjong pens, which have excellent nibs. I think this pen is on the lower end of the spectrum to where it's just not going to blow you away. However, with this pen, I think you'll learn that it's still a good pen to use for the feel in your hands. Like, I do believe that will get you pretty far from trying out a 149. But in terms of the actual writing experience, nothing like it. So it just for what it's worth, I just needed to put that out there, that this is not the pen to test out its nib. I think ultimately this nib can be worked on and made to be a little bit wetter and quicker. It is smooth. It's slow. It's deliberate. It's not a quick pen. Moving on to more details, there is no plunger or there's no any kind of cool filling mechanism. It's just a cartridge pen. Oh wait, I forgot that I had a converter in here. It does come with a piston converter, so that's nice, right? But yeah, it comes with that. That's nice. I mean, to be honest, these are like $4. So half the cost of the pen right there is probably that. So you're not going to get much in terms of the nib in general. But yeah, for you to test drive and get a feel for the size, because, the other thing too, some people don't like the 149 because in the hand, if you have small hands, this section to hold on to might be too thick. This might be uncomfortable for you to work with. So it allows some people to get accustomed to, okay, this is roughly the thickness, this is roughly the feel. And maybe after only spending $10, they realize, oh, this is not for me. This is too big in my hand. I don't like the section. I think I need something a little bit skinnier. And then they'll go to the 146, or any other variant that might suit them better. But I think that's mainly what a lot of people buy this for. I mean, some people buy this for, just to have a cheap pen, or they have a 149, right? And this is their beater pen that, their 149, maybe they bought it new and it was, $700-800, whatever, from Montblanc. And it's their desk queen. They don't really want to have this out of their desk, but they love just having this kind of a pen with them, maybe. But, I don't know. I think ultimately this, for me, it doesn't have a place in my collection for doing anything other than being the 149 measuring instrument, because other than that, it doesn't really write that well. And maybe I'll work on this a little bit and make it, faster. And there's plenty of people who have worked on this nib and made it really nice. And maybe I'll change my tune. But stock wise, it's a little slow. You got to add a little extra pressure to get it to get going. It's overall, I use this to say, okay, when I buy the 149, this is what it's going to feel like. And so that was it. I mean, there's not much else to say on it. I am shocked at how, in terms of pen design, a lot of manufacturers make this kind of pen, like identical. It's one of those things where I wish, I mean, I guess it's twofold, because it allows people to scratch that itch that they want this certain pen, but maybe they can't afford the 149. And this, this is it. Okay. I'll say this. If you are on a budget, right, and you really don't want to spend any kind of money on a fountain pen, you think it's ridiculous. You think, what the heck am I going to spend X amount of dollars on this thing? Like, even spending, the $10 is ridiculous when you've got a bunch of, you've got a pack of Bic pens, for $4, and you've got like 15, 20 pens in there. If you're one of those people, this is like a whoa moment, right? Because you went from getting like 15, 20 pens for $5 to spending $10 on one pen, and then having to buy ink for it because, you gotta fill this guy up. this can be a gateway into collecting fountain pens. And maybe that's where this belongs. It's one of those gateway. Yeah, I guess so. It's a gateway into Montblanc, and it's a gateway into, on the very low end, just getting into fountain pens in general. I will say this though, at least from my model, this nib, right? It doesn't. I don't think this nib gives you that feel that you want more. Like if I never wrote with a fountain pen before, right? And this was my first foray, I'd be like, oh, this sucks. It's true. Like this would not turn me on to fountain pens. This would turn me off if I thought, without, listening to a review or something, that this is how a fountain pen feels. I would be disappointed, and I'd be like, oh, what's all the fuss about? So I think it's a gateway pen for the educated, not a gateway pen for the uneducated. I feel like that's maybe where that lies. I know I'm waxing on. I'm waffling, but yeah, this thing, I think it does serve a purpose. I think for some individuals, they like it. Maybe they like the slowness of it. Maybe they have a different style. Maybe your hand is a little shaky and maybe this slows you down. There are use cases. I cannot speak for everybody. I'm sure someone out there loves this pen. However, at least my copy of it, it's a 149 measuring tool. That's what it is for me. It's for me to do this and be like, yeah, okay, that's good for my hands. I won't do the 146. I'll do the 149. It's fine. That's what I bought it for. So yeah, if nothing else, it's really good to do that. And yeah, maybe it's a gateway for some other people into the Montblanc, higher end pens, like the 149. But I don't think this is a gateway for fountain pens because it doesn't have that good of a quality nib on it. And again, at least my copy. Oh boy, a little bit of a critical review here, but I had to say so because this is my experience with this pen. It does not. Put it this way. There are Mahjong / Moonman pens that are $10 that blow this out of the water when it comes to writing experience. I feel like writing experience wise, there are way better pens at the same price point. So I really do feel like this pen goes a long way by just being this size and shape. I think that's really where its mileage is. I don't really think much else. Anywho, I hope I didn't destroy this pen in this review, but I'm being honest, and I bought this thing with my own money, so I can say what I want. Anyway, this has been Pen and Gadget. Sayonara.